than the efforts of all other individuals seeking converts to Islam here in America put together. Think of that. Mr. Muhammad enjoys good relationships with all good churchmen of understanding, such as Reverend W. Eugene Houston of Rendell Memorial Presbyterian Church, who invited Messenger Muhammad's followers on a program in his large church at New York in October, and the Reverend Adam Clayton Powell, whose church invited Minister Malcolm to speak in his church one Sunday and received such good response they are planning another invitation. The Reverend Rawls of the 5,000-seat Tabernacle Baptist Church in Chicago, who has invited the Muslims to hold 2 conventions there. The Reverend Dr. Boone of King Solomon Baptist Church of Detroit, which had Messenger Muhammad speak last May and are now arranging for him to speak there on Sunday, December the 21st. The First Baptist Church in Pittsburgh provides for the Muslims to hold their regular meetings there. These men are wise men and are not like the nationally known preacher who was caught and photographed in the nude along with the wife of another pastor in a downtown white hotel room, or the likes of Daddy Grace, who gets money from his people to buy the biggest apartment building in the world, the El Dorado on Select Central Park West, where only whites can live, as his own poor followers live in one room, rat and insect infested, plaster falling, floor caving in dens. Think of this, or Prophet Jones, who invested money in original dresses. Think of this, created by Hattie Carnegie and Christian Dior, or the other preachers whose morals tend toward the shade of powder they must wear, others' wives and daughters seducing or seeking money from their poor followers for personal gain. But the Reverend Roger D. Downs is one of the many good preachers who has talked with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and stated that he wants to help our people and will henceforth pitch in with the messenger. Other groups express good relationship with Messenger Elijah Muhammad, such as the Universal Association of Ethiopian Women of New Orleans, La Hermosa First Spanish Church, the National Council of Negro Women, Business and Professional Women, the Hebrew School, Hill Incorporated International and Domestic Travel Agency, Mr. Forrester B. Washington, former Dean of Atlanta University School of Social Sciences, Dr. Thomas W. Matthews, Director of Neurosurgery at Coney Island Hospital, Attorney Robert Ming of American Veterans Committee, Reverend of Shaw Temple Church in Atlanta, Reverend M.D. Clemens of New Haven, Connecticut, Tan Hu Tang, Consulate General of Indonesia, and Ambassador Ibrahim Innis of Sudan. We have among us many followers of the Honorable Noble Drew Ali in the Morris Science Temple. We have many of them in our group. The temple in Hartford, Connecticut can attribute its growth to the great help of Sister Rosalie Biar and others who were in the Morris Science Temple and joined up with Messenger Elijah Muhammad. We have the son of the Grand Sheikh of Newark, the late William Gravitt Eel's son in the temple in New York, our beloved Brother Captain Joseph. And we have many others such as Brother Abdel Eel, James Biar, and Brother Hubert Eel. In broadcasting, Messenger Muhammad's representatives have appeared on the radio program WLIB's The Editor Speaks. Messenger Muhammad has been the cause of editorial comments of program and news director George W. Goodman. He has been subject of broadcast by Minister Isaiah of Baltimore, in Durham, North Carolina, over station KWX, and Richmond, Virginia, station WBID. In Philadelphia by Minister George over station WDAS, WHAT, and in Chicago over station WBPX by Minister James, and over station WHBI in Newark by Minister Malcolm S. Also in Newark, Councilman Turner, whom we pray Allah recovers from his illness, has attended our meeting. Each city where we have meetings, the police officials offer us help in traffic control and parking. Many musicians and fighters have come into the temple. Among the fighters are Henry Toothpick Brown. That's right. Paul 4X, formerly known as Mike Jacobs, and Willie James of Boston, and Louis X of Chicago. Musicians such as James Moody, Sonny Stitt, trumpeter Adam D. Wright, the Calypso Kid, Gene Walcott. I used to be in the Calypso world. Had many records out on the market that sold many copies. Many of you probably have bought them. I used to play the concert violin with many of the major TV networks. But I just happened to be playing in Chicago one day, and I heard a man who played a masterful tune. And he played that tune so well I haven't picked up my instrument since that day. This man that I'm referring to is the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. After hearing him and his life-giving message, which to me was the greatest music that I'd ever hoped to hear in all of my life. Regardless of what walk of life you and I walk in, brother and sister, you can be a doctor, a lawyer, a school teacher, a fighter, you can be rich or you can be poor. If you examine your life, you will find that there is still something missing. There's that something missing that no matter how great you become, you still are looking for it. And today, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is here to give you that thing that you and I have all been looking for. I am happy and thankful to Allah to have been able to speak these few words in behalf of Allah and His messenger, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. This is a man who is not interested in self, but he has a great personal love for the whole 17 million so-called American Negroes, and has been thoroughly taught and teaches us that we are not Muslims until we love for our brother that which we love for ourselves. And the reason he is here with us today is because he loves for you and me more than he loves for his own self. So my dearly beloved brothers and sisters, I will not prolong your time. But I don't blame you, sister. With a man like the Honorable Elijah Muhammad in our midst, time is precious. And I want to see him and hear him and sit down and be rejuvenated myself. So as I said, I won't prolong the time, but I'm going to bring to you our beloved minister from Temple number 7, Minister Malcolm X, as I greet you in the name of Allah and His divine apostle, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. How are all of my brothers and sisters? In the name of Allah, the all-wise, true, and living God, to whom all praise is due, the Lord of all the worlds, whom we forever thank for giving us as our beloved leader and teacher today here in North America, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. And to our dear beloved leader and teacher, Messenger Elijah Muhammad, and his son, Minister Wallace Muhammad, and our brother ministers, and to all of our visiting brothers and sisters here today, we thank Allah for blessing us to be able to turn out in such large numbers to welcome the Honorable Elijah Muhammad to the city of Newark. All praises due to Allah. Today, you and I are going to hear the words spoken to us by one man who will lay down his life to see the elevation or bring about the elevation of the so-called Negroes here in America. Today, we are going to be taught by a man who for the past 2 weeks has been not instructed or advised, but ordered by his doctors to stay in his bed. But yet he thinks so much of you and me that if there is just a life-giving message, opening their ears, he will travel around the world just for the benefit and the betterment of the so-called Negro here in America. And all praise is due to Allah. All praise is due to Allah. The very fact that so many of us are gathered here today from so many different walks of life. Some of you are doctors, some of you are lawyers. Some professional, some non-professional. Some workers and some non-workers. Is that right or wrong? Some educated and some not educated. Some from the boulevard and some from the alley. Some from the college and some from the kindergarten. But yet, despite the various walks of life that we all come from, we have gathered here today for one common cause, to see and welcome and hear the words of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Let's understand, the very fact that so many of us are here is witness to the truth in the work, in the mission of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad that has been set before him by God to bring together in unity our people here in America who have long been divided in disunity. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad is the most, and the past has been the most misrepresented and misunderstood black man in North America. Understand, today you and I will come face to face, have come face to face with the most misrepresented and misunderstood black man ever to walk the land here in North America. But thanks to Almighty God Allah, today many of you who have had questions in your mind, questions placed in your mind by misunderstanding, questions placed in your mind by misrepresentation, today you will see the man whom you and I have been talking about and hearing about, who is here to represent himself, who is here to answer for himself, who is here to show himself before the world. All praise is due to Allah. And Messenger Muhammad is not only uniting the Negroes in America, but he is teaching us how to respect and protect our women. In fact, the messenger is elevating the status of the so-called Negro woman in the eyes of the Negro man here in America. This in itself is a miracle. Since when has the so-called Negro woman in America received the respect of her man, and since when could she count on the protection of her man? But today, we so-called Negro men who have heard the words of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad will lay down our lives for our beautiful black women here who have been misused long enough. Before you leave here today, you will know what it is about this little man and what it is about his message that overnight will make a black man stand up for the first time in his life for the defense of a black woman. All praise is due to Allah. For the first time, our people are no more ashamed of our color or what we are. Messenger Muhammad's teachings have made us proud of what we are. And we must agree that most surely he has dignified the black man and the black woman here in North America. In the past, we were deceived. We were misled. We were robbed by crooked political and religious leaders. Crooked political leaders and greedy religious leaders. Robbed by even our very own kind. But all of these deceivers, swindlers, root doctors, frightened leaders and false teachers must step aside today. They must step back. They must get out of the way. Why? Because that man Elijah, whom the Bible predicted was to come and turn aside the false preachers of Baal, is here in North America today. All praise is due to Allah. That great Muhammad, whom the Holy Quran predicted was to make this naked truth unite the so-called Negroes of America in the last days, is also here today. Here in the person of Messenger Elijah Muhammad himself. For as the Holy Quran predicted that in the last days, the light of Islam, the sunlight of Islam, will be made to rise in the West, today the presence of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaching here among the so-called Negroes of America has indeed caused the light of Islam to rise right here in the West. Messenger Elijah Muhammad can help us. He can solve our problems. Other religious leaders have collected millions of dollars from our people, only for the purpose of making themselves rich. These millions of dollars collected from our people have never benefited our people because they have never been used to help our people. Is that right or wrong? Best example, as was mentioned earlier, Daddy Grace. He has collected millions of dollars from poor, downtrodden, well-meaning Negroes, whose money he has used to purchase the largest apartment building in the world. very money he has used to make the purchase cannot live in this segregated building. Brothers and sisters, how big a fool can you and I be? There are many other religious figures among our people today who are also being exposed as our people awaken. The messenger, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, can bring a quick halt to all of our troubles if we will now back him just 1/10 as much as we back the fakers. With the few nickels and dimes the messenger has collected among us, he has established independent business that employ us, which gives us economic independence and economic stability. With the few nickels and dimes raised among us, the messenger has established schools wherein we can better qualify ourselves with the necessary education, academic training, and skills to compete in all fields today on equal terms with everyone. We want our children to have a fair break. Therefore, we must support this great program. With little or no outside support or subsidizing, he has also established the University of Islam in Chicago with a branch in Detroit. Among his followers, juvenile delinquency is a thing unknown. Today, many great leaders are rising up from among the ranks of the darker peoples of the East. Great men like Nasser in Egypt, Qasim in Iraq, Nkrumah in Ghana, Sikori in Guyana, Kenyatta in Kenya, and many others throughout Africa and Asia. And because these great leaders have stood up among the people to protect their people from the lynching, robbing oppressors, the darker peoples of the East over there will readily sacrifice their very lives for their great newly risen leaders. But what about the Negroes of America? Who will help us? Who will teach us? Who will stand up for us? Who will speak out for us? Who will lead us? Messenger Muhammad declares, I will do the job. Praise is due to Allah. Let us understand. He is offering and risking his life as the price of our freedom. He is standing in America today as a bulwark against our enemies. He is a great voice speaking out against our oppressors. He is a threat to the slave master, a threat to the robber, a threat to the lyncher. Is that right or wrong? Negroes in America need unity. We need dignity. We need recognition as human beings. Is that right or wrong? We need economic security. Therefore, examine Messenger Muhammad's works. Study his words. And therein, you will find the answer to our many needs, the solution to our many problems. By supporting Messenger Muhammad's program, we can gain these accomplishments overnight. Just as the darker peoples of the East today stand behind their great leaders, willing to sacrifice their very lives for the advancement of their program, the Negroes of America today must wake up. We must stand up. We must come together and do likewise. Messenger Muhammad asked us to sacrifice nothing. He says only come and follow him. He will not only show us the way, he will lead the way. All praise is due to Allah. Therefore, we must get together on our own and help him. We must finance his program, which with all we can, because we can see that it is designed to unite our people. As we listen to this great message today, let us remember the little brown envelope in our hand. If you recognize, now understand, if you recognize the wisdom of the messenger's word, sacrifice to help spread this wisdom among our people. If you recognize the unifying power of his great message, sacrifice with your dollars that others may hear and also come into unity with us. As you witness the fearless leadership displayed by this humble but noble man today, remember your envelope and do your part. And for once in your life, you will be giving to a man who does not ask you to give, but who uses all he receives for the elevation and advancement of the entire 17 million so-called Negroes here in America. Prophet Elijah Muhammad. Let's understand. But no one knows a man better than his son. No one knows a man better than those who are in his own household. No one knows a man better than the one who he produced. Is that right or wrong? Before we hear from our beloved leader and teacher, I want you to meet a man who was born in Islam, who grew up in Islam, who is a teacher of Islam, who is a minister of Islam, who is a professor and teacher of the Arabic language in the University of Islam in Chicago. The son of Messenger Elijah Muhammad, Minister Wallace D. Muhammad.
Assalamu alaikum. In the name of Allah, the one true God, the beneficent and most merciful, we thank Almighty God for giving us a leader and a teacher, a divine man who will stand up for us when nobody else will. I thank him from the bottom of my heart, and right now I have no dollars, but I have blood. And if he wants some of this blood, he can have all of it if it will help his program. I thank God for giving us a man who's brave enough to do the job. All of us know the job. We know what needs to be done, but none of us were able to do it. Is that right? Nobody before our time were able to do it, and now today we don't find anyone able to do it. If they are able to do it, they're not brave enough to do it. Is that right? So we don't want the fellow if he's able and not brave enough. We want the one who's able and then brave enough to do the thing. And you can't be brave enough to do the thing unless you care, as I care. And I thank Almighty God because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he cares as I care. When my flesh bleeds, his flesh bleeds. When my face is brightened, his face is bright. That's the kind of man the poor Negroes need. If that kind of man is not standing up for us, then sit down. We don't want it. You know, I'm not speaking as a son of the messenger. I'm speaking as a follower of the messenger. And what is a follower of the messenger? A follower of the messenger is one who wants what you want. And what you want? You want peace, is that right? You want freedom, is that right? But you don't want freedom to walk all over the prison and still be called a prisoner. Is that right? No. You want freedom to walk into prison and then walk out when you get ready. Is that right? Well, that's the kind of freedom the Honorable Elijah Muhammad can give us. You don't want freedom of the body and your mind is all bound with chains. You want to even think as a free man. Is that right? All praise is due to Allah. You want the voice of your baby to be heard. Poor black babies crying and nobody hears it. We want his voice to be heard. Is that right? Every black baby that cries out in the name of the God that the Muhammad represents to us, his voice is heard. Why? Because he's a man who's heard. And everyone who speaks in his name is heard. Thanks be to Almighty God Allah. I thank the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I thank the God that sent him. Because in him I've been saved. Been saved from what? Been saved from every kind of degradation that a human being can suffer. Do you know, brother and sister? When I say brother and sister, I mean every dark face in here. You know, when there's a drop of black blood in a man or woman, the white man says, get on the other side of the line. You are the inferior and I am the superior. You understand? Your face might be as bright as his, but if he know a drop of Negro blood is in your vein, he says, step on the other side of the line. Do you know by him doing that he has signed his death day? That's right. Why? Because there are too many people darker than he is. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is telling us today that there are too many people darker than white people. So if you want to segregate us and put us on the other side of the line, we know what to do on the other side. We're going to unite on the other side. And we have the power to unite behind. A living power. You know, before I sit down, I'm not up here to talk. Because I'm up here to listen just as you are. You understand?
The moment that you and I have looked forward to now for some weeks has arrived. Before I bring forth our beloved leader and teacher, again I want to remind you, if you, while you're sitting here, see that he is helping us then let us all get together and help him. Don't leave here today without helping the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, because he's a man who for 28 years has put his life on the chopping block for the so-called Negro, man and woman, here in North America. They accuse him of teaching hate. Today he is here to clarify for you and me whether or not he teaches hate. They say that the teaching or the message that he has is a medicine that's like arsenic. It's bitter. It destroys. But before you and I can judge whether or not this that he is giving to us or has diagnosed for us, before we can rightly judge what it is, we have to face the facts concerning the condition of the people for whom his message has been formed. Is that right or wrong? Let's understand. When you saw Minister Wallace Muhammad stand, he is wearing a suit made by we who are Muslims. Stand again, brothers and sisters. For ourselves. But today we have a leader and a teacher who teaches us that we can do anything for ourselves. And here is a living witness. We have brothers and sisters around here wearing clothes that we ourselves have produced. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad is teaching us to be producers for ourselves. We have been consumers long enough. It's time for us to come today together and do some producing. Is that right or wrong? Now let's understand. Is he the one? And why him? Why should we have the Honorable Elijah Muhammad today? Has he been predicted to come? Has it been written that he will be here? In the Bible, God told Abraham, know for a surety, thy seed will be strangers in a land that is not theirs. Is that right or wrong? Strangers in a land that is not theirs. A place where they will not be accepted as citizens. A place, although they are born there, yet they have no rights. Yet they have no protection. Yet they have nothing that will elevate them. Strangers in a land that is not theirs. 400 years, the prophecy said, these people would be afflicted. 400 years, the prophecy says, these people would be enslaved. Is that right or wrong? After 400 years, they'd be in a sickening condition. They would be blind, deaf, and dumb. They would be a people who would be easy to lead in the wrong direction, but hard to lead in the right direction. They'd be a people who would be suffering from a mental illness, from a physical illness, from a spiritual illness, from a moral illness, and from a financial illness. But despite all of this illness that these people would be bothered by, the book says that Almighty God would raise them up a doctor, would raise them up a physician, and give to him the only medicine that would cure these people. As it said, 400 years they'd be strangers in a land that was not theirs, until God himself would come and remedy that condition. Is that right or wrong? And the further prophecy in Deuteronomy says, when God told Moses, I will raise them up a prophet, just like you, who will speak unto them all that I shall command him. Understand, a prophet like Moses in the last day. If you want to know who to look for, study the work that Moses did. Moses did not teach his people, let's fight for a chance to ride on the front of the bus. Moses did not teach his people, let's crawl on our knees to Pharaoh and beg for a chance to go to his church. Moses did not teach his people to beg for a chance to integrate with their slave master. Is that right or wrong? Moses did not teach his people to be dependent upon the slave master. Moses did not teach his people to beg the slave master. Moses taught his people what? Separate themselves from their slave master, and in the name of God himself, do something for yourself. Is that right or wrong? A man like Moses, for a people who'd be in the same condition as Moses' people. Well, how will we know him? Where will he come from? Where will he be? What will be his name? That same Bible that you and I have been taught to believe in says that this prophet would make his appearance in the last day. God said, behold, I send my messenger before my face. Is that right or wrong? Before God comes, a messenger has to be in the land. And this messenger will go before the face of God to prepare the people who us the way. We now have a man who will teach us the way. The most fearless leader and wise teacher that the black man in America has ever witnessed before. And if you will sit back today and open your mind and open your heart, open your eye, open your ear, you will hear a man talk like never you've heard a man talk before. Let us all please stand. You once said that you would stand up for Jesus. You didn't know Jesus. You thought Jesus was a white man. And the only hope that you had of ever standing up was for a white man. But thanks be to Almighty God, that one true God, whose personal and proper name is Allah, you and I now have an opportunity in this day and time and in this life to stand up for a black man, a humble black man, a noble black man, a wise black man, our beloved leader and teacher and messenger, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
In the name of Allah, the most merciful, to whom all holy praises is due, the Lord of the world, the most merciful, the finder and life giver to we the lost found, mental death in the wilderness of North America. My beloved brothers and sisters, I feel that I should grow about 10 feet tall and about 5 or 10 feet broad to answer to all of the honor and credits that I have been given here this afternoon by the ministers of mine. I'm real happy and know that I'm honored by your presence here this afternoon. I can never thank Allah enough for you coming out here this afternoon to see and to hear what Elijah Muhammad have to say. It is a great honor to me. You didn't leave your homes to come out here to listen to that which you already knew. You come to look and to listen to that which you have not seen and that which you have not known. And to learn more about that which we already know. I feel honored, but I want you to know that I'm just about the least one of all of you. I'm just a little servant, and I don't want you to take me for no great big man, no object of worship, nothing the kind. Take me for just a little humble brother. Then I will feel like that I can walk along with you and you can walk along with me. I never care for too much exalt. I like that Allah exalt me if I'm worthy. I have traveled from Chicago by air this morning with my son and son-in-law and with my 2 secretaries and with more of my workers. Allah blessed us with a safe arrival. And we thank Allah for bringing us to you safe and sound. And we are overjoyed to see you fill this house up to its capacity, to meet us and to listen to what we have to say. I'm not here from Elijah. I'm here from Allah. Just forget about Elijah. Elijah is no more than a piece of chaff. It says Allah is the one. I came with the message of Allah to you, and not from myself. I'm here to offer to you that which I know will solve your problems that you have been going with heartaches, headaches all your life. Almighty God, to whom all praises is due, whose proper name is Allah, have given to me the solution that with my son and son-in-law and with my two secretaries and with more of my work. And Allah blessed us with a safe arrival. And we thank Allah for bringing us to you safe and sound. And we are overjoyed to see you fill this house up to its capacity, to meet us and to listen to what we have to say. I'm not here from Elijah. I'm here. Just forget about Elijah. Elijah is no more than a piece of chaff. It says Allah is the one. I came with the message of Allah to you, and not from myself. I'm here to offer to you that which I know will solve your problems that you have been going with heartaches, headaches all your life. Almighty God, to whom all praises is due, whose proper name is Allah, have given to me the solution that will solve every black man's problem in America. If you will only accept it. There is much that has been said as the minister of number 7, the minister of number 11, Boston. These two great ministers have said plenty. In fact, about it, I feel that I should just dismiss you and tell you that, well, my ministers have said everything necessary. But I would like that you know that we have been misrepresented. It's true. But any time, if you will look over the history of your great leaders of the past, you will find that any time that one of your own kind attempts to do something in your favor or demand justice for you, he's misrepresented.
just other than what he's really trying to do or what he really is. Now, here I would like that you know that we are not here to detain you all the evening, or afternoon and evening, to tell you just a few things. We want to tell it and allow you a chance to get back home before night. We have one of the greatest problems of all people on the planet Earth to solve. I give honor and credit to our former teachers, leaders, Marcus Garvey, Noble Raleigh. May peace and the blessings of Allah be upon them. Those two leaders who are your last before me, they went a long way towards trying to shape up your mind towards self and your kind. But you are still right here in America seems to be yet confused, yet divided, yet following the same old way that they call you to leave and follow a new way. Marcus Garvey said that you would never be worthwhile as long as the American flag flies over America. You would never be nothing but a servant. And how true it is. I would say right here that Noble Raleigh was also a great figure among us, a spiritual leader and teacher who tried to open a new house of worship and a new God to you, and not a new God and not a new house, but one that was as old as the universe itself. But none of you seems to have followed those men like you should have followed them. Today, there is so much confusion among the followers of the two men that you need someone, you need a third man to soothe the troubled waters that you have troubled. I believe that if you would pay a little more attention to what Allah has revealed to me, I believe every one of you that once followed Marcus Garvey, Noble Raleigh, would unite with me this afternoon. You only understood. I am the brother of those two men. Just remember that. I am their brother. And what they were trying to do, I am their brother. And that which they failed to accomplish, Almighty God has sent me as a third man to you to accomplish that which they could not at that time. I'd like to draw your attention to the time that you're living in. That is most important. You're living in the year 6044. 6
from the creation of the white race. That means that you are 44 years in your unreal, and they are 44 years in your real. They are not living in their time, they are living in your and my time. I hope that you will have a little patience with me for just a few minutes. I don't want you to get frightened and run out. And if you happen to get a little frightened at a little direct truth that I may speak to you this afternoon or teach you, then go home and read the articles that I write every week. And you won't have to fear them. We must remember that if we are to be a successful people, make progress in this day and time, we must know the time. We must know our place in this time. We must know where to look for progress. We can't make progress with the old world. I hope that you will reason there. We cannot make progress with the old world. The old world is going out, and a new world is coming in. It is universally known that the world that you and I have known is now tearing itself apart. We know and we see that there is no hope for us in a people that cannot get along with themselves in peace, and that every 10 or 15 years they go an all-out war with each other. We just cannot hope for no peace among that people that have no peace among themselves. We can't accept a peace breaker for a guide to peace. He must be an example of peace himself. You know, and I know, for the last 44 years since 1914, we have not had any peace as yet, and the worst is yet to come. I want to say to you, scholars, religious theologians, you must remember that if the present world of Christianity is to usher you and I into a better world of Christianity, I want you to take note on the past history of the old world of Christianity and see if you have anything in the old world that you can rely on to take you over into a new world of peace and contentment. It is these things that you as myself members of that great and noble black nation. Some of us don't want to be called black, but I said that's the truest person. Black. That's number one. I mean the black that has not been tampered with. The black that has not been diluted. The black that has not been touched by white man's civilization. That's the kind of black. We must remember that we as a people, members of the darker nation of earth, that we have been separated from that people for 400 long years. And we have not tried to get acquainted with our own people. We have been trying to get acquainted with white people. We have been trying our utmost to make friendship and love with those who have crushed our parents, crushed us, crushed all our kind wherever they have had this opportunity to do so. Whether they were here or there, they have crushed it. Think over it. The white race has ruled the darker people. And for 400 years, they have ruled us with their feet upon our necks. Today, you are a red nation here in a nation. Today, you have nothing that you can call your own in America. That is not wanted to be said. There are many that doesn't agree with Elijah Muhammad, but I know that Elijah Muhammad is telling you the truth, and sooner or later you will agree with Elijah's telling the truth wholeheartedly and not half-heartedly. We want something for ourselves. Come up here, any one of you, and stand where I am standing. Look in the face of hundreds of you sitting there. Look at the beautiful sitting of a darker people, and then just think, what part does they play here? What part does they own? Where is a city in America that they own? Where is a state in America that they own? What is it that this beautiful nation owns in America? Just stand here and look at yourself. Shall we forever, as a nation, everything he says and everything he don't say? And if we act like anyway disapprove to his wishes, any act that he can charge us with, not coming up to what he thinks that we should be doing. All right, he says, get off my job. Shall we, as intelligent human beings who have slaved for 400 years for nothing but a job, shall we continue to do such? Shall we harbor fear of the master in our hearts continually, knowing that we offering to stand for the future of our woman and our children. Even though we are swallowed like flies, but shall not we gain with our blood that we spill a live blood for our children's tomorrow?
Yes, sir. That's right.
If you're going to continue to harbor that fear in your heart that I can't do nothing because my master won't like it, my master will fire me. You're going to continue to nurse such petty ideas. You are a permanent slave to white privilege.
That's right, dear father.
I preach to you not the coming of God, but the presence of God. The presence of God is not that you and I remain in the gutter. Not remain beggars. No. We must have something of this good old earth that we can call our own little heaven. I feel sorry, sick sorry for our poor people that have not enough. But is the old common way. It's you. Not enough power in them for self to even speak up for self. Not enough in them to even bear witness with others that is speaking up for them. You are just that coward today. You are too coward to bear Elijah witness that he's right. For fear what? For the fear that I may lose my job. When did you ever own a job? We want to make a job for ourselves. We must have a job for ourselves. We must have land for ourselves. We are not going to be contented with being kicked out of white people's homes and shot up and down the highway and killed in the back of the field and crushed in the cities. We're not going to be satisfied with no such treatment. We're going to stand up.
That's right.
We're going to unite. We're going to ask for something, and if we don't get it, we're going to take it. That prevents you from enjoying heaven while you live. All of this beautiful earth, 196,940,000 square miles of it. Here you and I, running from one state to another, seeking a place to stand and in line for a job. Not seeking a place to stand on that we can call our own, but seeking a place where that we can stand in line to be heard. You must remember John Hall, the old slave trader. He to continue to give our sweat and labor to the same master's children for nothing. Whenever he said he have no job for us, we have then no home, because he will put us out of his house if we don't pay him rent, or if we don't pay our mortgage note. We are outdoors again. This is a serious thing, and in a serious time. You don't need for Elijah to come here and say, "Come ye that love the Lord, and let your joys be known." You need Elijah to come here and tell you to come up. All of us get together. Find a house for us. That's what we need. We need a house. We need a house that we can call our own. That is the aim of Islam. The aim of Islam is not to teach you the spiritual side of it and to keep you a subject to your slave master. But the aim of Islam is to free you from your slave master, hit you in heaven where you belong, on some of this good earth for yourself. That's what Islam is. We got to have some of this earth. We must have it. We're going to have it. We got to have it. We're going to get it. Where is our woman at today? Where is she? Over in the master's office or in his house scrubbing his floor. She did that in slavery time. We are free now. What right we have to send her back to the master's house to scrub his dirty clothes and to wash his clothes? We gotta be men. I'm really all over myself to get to you, to tell you that you must act yourself. You are a real man, but you are asleep. I'm not satisfied. God is not satisfied at your condition. That's why he's here to better your condition. You must remember, my friend, that you hear over the radio and television today the booming of war. You see today this race of people who enslaved our fathers now gradually coming closer and closer to one of the worst disasters that ever befell a nation since a nation has been on our planet. They are drawing themselves close and close, closer and closer together for destruction. They are threatening right now each other to start a hunting and a hydrant warfare against each other. You must remember we are in the midst of them. You must remember we don't have no air raid shelter. They have not built no air raid shelters for you and I. But they are absolutely falling, and now their fall has reached a hot heat. They want a hot warfare now. And you and I are in the midst. Russia boasted that she has weapons that can reach people Think over that. 8,000 miles away. Now, you and I are within the range of that kind of weather. Are you and I going to be foolish men, sit right here, look at our beautiful women and our little children, sitting under such explosion that will wipe us off the face of the earth in a moment of time? And we have a chance to get out of it. Will we sit here and suffer and not avail ourselves of this freedom to get out of it? Will we be so foolish? You must remember, my friend, that the whole world knows that war is inevitable. The government of America knows that she cannot escape a total war with someone. And she's prepared. And it's war talk all that you hear. But you sitting here under the power of America. Brothers, remember the Bible. What it says. A strong man remains strong until a stronger man comes against him. Remember, my friend, that we have not respected our woman. We have not shown love to our woman as we should. We have acted like savages. We have ignored our woman sitting down, wallowing in the gutter. We didn't go to try to raise her. We went there and poured more murder on her. Wrapped her up and then called others, even other nations, other races, to come pour more blood on my woman. That is not good for us. We have the best woman God ever gave birth to on the planet Earth. But we have made her the worst woman. Because we show her no love. We don't try to protect her. We don't try to take care of her. We will drop her down in a house with 5 or 6 babies, walk on out, tell her to take care of them the best you can. We make a prostitute out of our own wives. I say, my friend, we are guilty of almost murder of our woman and our children. How can our children rise up and say, hey, Dad, how you do that? He should say, hey, Mr. Enemy, I'd like to take your head off. I know that our women have faults, but I believe that we are guilty of it all. If we had been our own self, 100% a man, our woman would have been 100% a woman. And she's not so far gone that we cannot regain her to her feet and make the world power and respect. There is a charge in the papers that I teach hate. I demand the Americans to prove that charge. Let the white man prove that part of my teaching that is hate. I defy them to prove it. I would like to take a white man from Newark, from Chicago, or from New York, or any northern city. Take him down in this house and just let him pass by and look at me, how I will get along with his brother down there. And I want to ask him, look in those eyes and tell me who put hate in those eyes for me and my kind. Elijah teach hate. Demand him to tell you and point out that part of my teaching that he say that is hate. Tell him to point it out to you. No. It is the truth. That's right. Truth is not wanted among this people. That's right. It is truth that fights them. That's right. It is truth that will be their destruction. That's right. To me. He said to you, he teaches that we are devils, thinking that you don't believe, or don't know how to prove it. He teaches that we are devils. He teaches race hatred. Tell him, mister, if you're not a devil, then prove it. That's the way to talk. Take the paper. The Elijah said, the whole race of you all are nothing but devils. And if you're not devils, then all right, go prove it. Put it out in the paper like he's putting it out. That you are not devils. And he will turn red and walk on off. They know that they are the devil. But they didn't want you to know that. But God has revealed to me that race of people, that they are devils, and that they are not no friend of yours and mine. And that he has come for their destruction. He has not come to put them in no mosque, nor in no church. He has come to burn them and burn their church and their religion. We are not weak people that we should stand up and tremble before this people. We know this people. We know how they came about. We know the way they are going off. The way they are going off. We are not afraid of them. What rights we have to be afraid of them? When we made them ourselves. They are not their own makers. Who made them? They don't have no earth. It's our earth. Who made the earth? They didn't make it. We're asking for it. That's right. They want some of our earth. They don't have any. That's right. This is our earth, and we're going to take it. Go along with us if you want to. Or you can oppose us if you want to. You either you want, but we are here. We are not afraid of anything. We don't know no fear. There have not, for the last 100 years, there have nothing that you can boast of that Christianity has gotten for you. Only a more permanent mental slave to white people. What rights you have to bow to a religion that even those who advocate that religion will not even recognize you as being their brother. White people will not call you their brother or their sister, though you are a member of the same church or in the same denomination. They just can't get that out. And you, as a black man, you just can't go up to white Baptist member and tell him, well, good morning, brother, how you feel this morning? Something inside, just won't let it come out. There is a lot of ignorant talk. We have to love everybody. We have to love everybody. Well, listen, brother, if you love everybody, I don't want any of your love at all. Because some of these bodies is enemies to other bodies. And we can't love enemies. That is against our nature to love an enemy. But the white man put it in the Bible. Love all, everybody. Love your neighbor as thyself. But who is my neighbor? Next door to me is a white man. And he's a priest of the Catholic Church. Is that my neighbor? He's just as far from believing in Islam as I am in believing in Catholic. He's my neighbor now. Shall I love him as I love myself? Or can he love me as he loves himself? No. How many times have you ever found white people proving that they love you as they love themselves? Not even if you marry one. That's all right. I know some of you married them, but that's all right. It is the nature of the person in which he is made. We are made in the nature of the righteous. White people are made in the nature of evil. That's right. Therefore, we too just cannot agree with each other. We just cannot love each other as we love ourselves. They cannot love us as they love themselves. Because they are by nature created to be an enemy of black man. They were made from our own people. Right. The black man is the father of white people. They were grafted from us. Remember that. They didn't There was never no such time as you read in the Bible. God went up. My neighbor now, shall I love him as I love myself? Or can he love me as he loved himself? No. No. How many times have you ever found white people proving that they love you as they love themselves? Not even if you marry one. That's all right. I know some of you married them, but that's all right. It is the nature of the person in which he is made. We are made in the nature of the righteous. White people are made in the nature of evil. That's right. Therefore, we two just cannot agree with each other. We just cannot love each other as we love ourselves. They cannot love us as they love themselves, because they are by nature created to be an enemy of black mankind. They were made from our own people. Right. The black man is the father of white people. That's right. They were grafted from us. That's right. Remember that. They didn't, there was never no such time as you read in the Bible, God went out somewhere, picked up a little dust, and come on, Adam, come on, Eve. To blind you from the real truth of that person. Today you are getting the teachings all over the country as God has revealed it to me, that these people are grafted from you and I, and not one condemns it. No white people will try to condemn it because they know that they are from us. But they didn't want you to know that. But the Bible teaches them that in that day, all your secrets shall be made known. And again, the Bible teaches them that in that day, so with the priest, so with the servant. Now, so with the rich man, so with the servant. That day is fast approaching. Approaching rich America. You must remember, my beloved brothers and sisters, you are not headed for no prosperity. You are headed for a complete fall. Yes, sir. Billions, trillions of dollars in America soon will be weightless as your newspaper. Where is that gold? That gold is buried education? Are you trying to teach them that, or are you trying to get him to look this way and take out his pocket, put in your pocket? Your degree is not given to you to rob your brother. That's right. Your degree is given to you to elevate your brother. Elijah wants something for himself and his kind. We have been underfoot long enough. We will forever be underfoot if we don't push the foot off enough. People are being shot out of their home after buying their home. In white neighborhoods, they are shot out of it. Get that nigger out of our neighborhood, or we leave it to ourselves. But yet Elijah hates. He's teaching hate. But here white people is moving out of that neighborhood to keep from living in it. If one family of Negroes move in it, what do you call that? Your white people today are kicking their own children out of our schools. That's right. While they find a black child coming in it. What is that? Is that hate or love? You are begging them to allow your children and yourself to be students side by side in their school. And they are telling you even the Supreme Court cannot even enforce the law. I want them to force them to allow your children to come in their school. And if they vow to give it up, my friend, it's time for you to wake up and find out who is actually teaching hate. You're even envied if you buy a new Cadillac for being able to buy it. Who is teaching hate? In the South, if you drive around some of those little small one-horse towns with the 1958 or 59 Cadillac, don't act like that you enjoy it. You better act like that you were kind of worried over something to get by. You will find many blue eyes looking at you half open, gritting their teeth. Some of them will not even service your car. Won't even pump gas in it. Walk on and off from you and leave. Who is teaching hate? They're going to walk up to your face and tell you, I hate the so-and-so Negro. But you of late is joining on the white say I'm teaching hatred because you are afraid of it. If you're going to be afraid to speak up for yourself and to point out the snake that is stinging you and your whole family, I said the snake should eat you up. Unite, that's the thing. You say it can't be done. Negroes can't unite. I said Negroes can't unite. I said Negroes can't unite is right. But I said the lost members of the tribe of Shabbat can unite. We are brothers. We are sisters. Islam. I don't want no more religion. Don't teach me religion, you will say. But I said, my beloved brothers and sisters, Islam is here to make a man out of you. It is not here to make a slave out of you. It's here to make a man out of you. If you will accept Islam, your fear will vanish. You will have no more fear. As you see, you don't see how these men could live to speak as they speak. But have not you in the Bible where it says that in that day a little child can play over the serpent? Oh, is that right? He can walk between the lion and the leopard or the bear. Is that right? For what? There would be no hate, no harm in all my holy mouth. You must remember how to understand that. Any time that you are chosen by God himself, and God has taken you to be his people, and he has taken to himself to be your God, did not you know, brother and sister, there is nothing that you have to fear? That's just what God has done for you and I here in America. He has said to me that he will make these people eat out of your hand if you will submit. Submit, my beloved brothers, and follow me, and he will make them eat out of your hand. Don't care about them threatening you about you won't have a job with us. Come on and follow me. I will show you you will get plenty of job and a permanent job forever. They are threatening you to keep you away from Islam, making you to sign this. Do you go to the temple of Islam? Are you a member of that cult? Do you know Elijah Muhammad? Do you follow him? Do you believe in what he is teaching? You know he's teaching some voices. You know he's teaching, he's with the communists. He is teaching to overthrow America. Are you with him? You tell him, say, wait a minute, mister, before you write too much. These are all rabbit scares. sitting around begging. That's right. With all of the fine professional people that we have in this government, would allow their poor people to be forever begging white people for a house to live in and for bread and soup. You should be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed of yourself. And then when you get in office, you rob them worse than the white man. You should be ashamed of yourself. Stop robbing one another. That's right. Rob the robber if you want to rob him. The truth is true. I sent a letter here rather not so long ago, and in the letter, well, it was in New York, but a money order for $100 to help send a delegation over to Ghana. I haven't even heard from it. Think of that. Not even heard from it. But I was asked to help, just to show that I'm, cooperative with my people. I will just throw something away, just to show you that I'm your brother. Not even heard from it. Yes, I did. I got another letter saying give something, but didn't even mention the gift. Now that kind of way has ruined our people, spoiled them, taken all of their confidence out of a leader. You ask them to do something for you, and then you take their money and go off and set off aside and get drunk off. That's a shame. I was surprised to have gotten such return from, I thought, was a good offer, donation rather, for something that I could have gone myself into. But I'm not so interested into independent states, countries of our people out of America. They're not suffering for me. Yeah, you are the one that I'm interested in. I'm interested in you. If I'm not interested in my own people here in America, how can I be interested in those over there? They have an independent country, and that little country is not large enough to house you and I. What I want is an independency for my own people here in America. And if you are independent outside of America, send us some money. You send us some money. It's a shame. You have been robbed, going and coming. I'm not with no robber of my people. I'm not here to ask you this afternoon to pay the expenses around the $1,000 that cost us to come over here today in fare. I'm not asking you for that. I'm happy to see your smiling faces here this afternoon to just listen to the message that God has given to me to give to you. I'm not passing around pans. You never see Muhammad in no temple of his people going around with pans asking, give. That's entirely up to you. I'm not preaching for money. I'm preaching for the brotherhood of the black man. expensive. My friend, you have a little money that you earned this week. Please take this advice from Elijah Muhammad. Don't go to the drugstore and buy drugs and increase the little ignorance that you already have deposited in your head. Don't do that. You only making the people rich while you are getting poor and dying for the lack of good health. That stuff will destroy your life. Don't do that. Don't take it and run around to your brother and sell it to him to rob him of his money. And brother, don't buy that dope. Leave the dope peddler peddle, but don't buy nothing off of him. And then he won't be a dope peddler long. It is a shame that we have stooped so low to start now using drugs, disgracing ourselves, destroying our health, destroying our future children, destroying our homes, bringing to a naught everything that is worthwhile, and then we go off to prison or to some institution there to linger around until we die. Don't do that anymore, brother. Don't go and spend your wages in the Jews' whiskey. He's in your neighborhood getting rich offering you, selling you bad whiskey. And if it was good whiskey, don't buy it. You don't need it. You was not born drinking for you. He will have great respect for you. But think of a worker now, working in a factory, that the company is worth $1 million or $100 million. The boss goes off for the weekend. Here goes the worker, don't have even but hardly $5 or $10. I takes off this weekend because I have to have some sport. We are too rich without anything at all. We want to be just like our master. And the master have all of it. And you and I have nothing. Let you and I unite and get something. Let us have a fast of liquor, a fast of drugs, a fast of gambling, a fast of prostitution. Let us fast on those things for a little while. And we'll see some of the most happy wives and daughters and sons we ever looked at. Our wives won't have to be knocked down by us for going across the street, because you and I will have what you need on this side of the street. This is one thing that degrades us and makes us unrecognized by the civilized world. You cannot be recognized by your people today unless, brother and sister, that you